Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me at the Have a Coke and a Smile rant. This rant is going to be about, what's it? Well, the reason why character and integrity is stressed so much in the Empress Club. Because the Chinese have a saying that if the master beam is crooked, how then can the roof be straight? I'll pause for effect. If the master beam is crooked, how then can the roof be straight? Now you think about that. Now on top of that, oh yeah, I'm a big, huge fan of John Maxwell. Gentlemen, John, oh, I gotta write that down for the library. John Maxwell. I mean, John Maxwell couldn't print enough books. I think some of his books, probably read them sometimes between 6 to 20 times. They're real easy read, but don't let that fool you now. There's much to learn from that man. But he said, it's so true that the leadership is so important because the leader casts a shadow on the organization. And the Chinese I just told you what the Chinese said about leadership. If the master beam is crooked, how then can the roof be straight? And this is why, gentlemen, character is stress in the Empress Club. As a leader, since you cast the shadow over the whole organization, the responsibility is too great to have someone in power that's corrupt. You're not only going to fail at your job as a corrupt, crooked leader, you're going to cause harm to an entire organization, and in some cases, a country. And like John Maxwell said, leadership is everything. Leadership is everything. And now I see why my uncle always preached integrity. And well, anyway, T.D. Jakes did a sermon similar to what I'm going to say when he talked about the importance of a boat being having airtight integrity. And he said a boat can sail through water as long as it doesn't take in water or take on water. So integrity is like an insulation against the sea of corruption. You can sail through it and not sink in it as long as you have airtight integrity. So you can look at integrity as being having a bulletproof vest against corruption and the effects of corruption. And gentlemen, leadership is serious business. Well, I was going to use two examples. I can use two examples. The saying goes that is so true, and it's very serious if you study John Maxwell's work, you can't take this saying for granted, that where the head goes, the body follows. Now, and the other thing is, I've seen a chicken, once his head's got chopped off, and it runs around aimlessly. And gentlemen, when you have crooked beams in the roof, good morning. That's all that you're doing. You're running around like a chicken. You're unproductive. In fact, well, the thing is already dead, but it could die twice. It could run straight into the road and be rolled over. And if you study history, you will see that poor leadership not only caused the downfall of kings and emperors, it brought the country to ruin. In order for Western civilization, or for mankind, if you ask me, to survive, we can't go on the route that we're going now. You must have leaders with character, and with integrity, with principles, with values and morals, that conduct themselves with decency. I know people will be like, oh, the moral police and all of that. Yes, you need a moral police. Anything does not go. And, and like I said in the rant about seed time and harvest, harvest is not one-to-one with seed time. Like with the grapefruit, I planted one grapefruit seed. I was able to get about 30 grapefruits from each of the three types of grapefruit trees I planted. And we got more or less like 100 grapefruits from 3 seeds, of which each seed has 10. So it's even more trees. You just think about the one seed gave, excuse me, gave 30 grapefruits with 10 seeds. That's 300 more trees. And if 300 of those trees each gave 30 grapefruits with 10. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. If the master beam in the beginning is crooked, the roof is never going to be straight, and the damage continues, and it gets greater and greater and greater as it goes on. And I was taught, right, the best way to solve a problem is to avoid it. And the best way to avoid the damage of a crooked beam ruining the roof is to make sure the master beam is straight. And then this is why the character stress in the Empress Club is that important. Now, this is another example. I caught a ride with a friend of mine. I had no idea he was a speed demon. Now, me, I love to speed, but I usually do it in a controlled environment because the cars aren't toys. Now, he was doing 110 miles per hour on a regular road. And I was like, Chief, pull over. Pull over. I'm going to walk home. And he was like, no. I said, no, sir. I pull over, I got out of the car, and I walked home. Now, this is what I'm talking about. He was in the driver's seat and was being extremely irresponsible. He didn't just endanger his life and my life. Everyone on the road, their life was in danger. Not just the cars, the houses that we were passing. Should he have he lost control of that car. I'm sure we could have plowed through somebody's house going over 110 miles per hour. And then it dawned on me, that's the value of leadership right there. The man at the helm was a maniac. And the thing is, he was enjoying himself, and it didn't dawn on him that he had placed a multitude of people's lives in danger. And then my mind went right on John Maxwell when he talked about how important leadership is. Now, he was in the driver's seat and I was in the passenger seat. And I couldn't let him waste my life, trifle with my life, so I told him to pull over and I hopped out. That's right, I'm still here. Mind you, he didn't get in an accident, thank God. But that was my life. I couldn't let him trifle with my life. And gentlemen, this is the importance of leadership. It is not just you that's going to be affected by your actions. There are going to be many people that are going to be affected by your actions. And this is why leadership is so important. And on another note, when I drive, I obey the speed limit. And everyone who knows me says that I drive like an old woman. And I tell them, no, I drive at the speed limit. So, a lot of people, they only catch a ride with me if they absolutely, positively need one. Because they all say the same thing, I drive too slow. No, I obey the speed limit. Now, I learned late in life about the science of building roads. I didn't know there was a science behind building roads. And that's why the roads have a speed limit, because the road is built a certain way for you to keep the car under control at a certain limit. And if you're a student of physics, now me, I had to learn physics, but I was more into chemistry, but I did what I did. I learned a lot about physics. There's a reason why you have a speed limit. on roads. Speed limit is posted on roads. It's because you keep the car under control. Once you exceed the speed limit, the way the road is built, the chances are the car could spin out of control. Not going over by maybe 20 miles per hour. Depending on what type of car you have, you can probably hit 30 miles over the speed limit. Sorry, 20 miles over the speed limit. But I think after 30 miles over the speed limit, you're being reckless. And that's something I'm not. Even though I'm in areas, I am not reckless. Not when it comes to me getting in the car. Because I'm not only responsible for my life, I'm responsible for everybody on the road and everyone in that car. And especially when I'm driving with children. You think I drive like Miss Daisy, but myself, if I've got children in the car, I drive even more with more care. Because in the driver's seat, I'm responsible for every soul in this car. And I take that responsibility seriously. Excuse me. Like I said before, one round, I don't do this just for pretty. I'm not doing this to hear myself talk. This is what I do. This is how I live my life. These are the lessons I've learned. So, gentlemen, it's the reason why having integrity, having character, discipline, and being responsible is stressed in the Empress Club. When you're in charge, you are shouldering a huge responsibility. Really, truly, I don't know if you've ever seen a crooked skyscraper. The skyscraper has to be properly built. That's supposed to be square, perfectly square, to handle the load of the weight it has to carry. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Good day.